My name is Emma Thompson, and this is my story, the one I never thought I'd have to tell, but the one that changed everything. I was 29, 8 months pregnant, and convinced I had the perfect life. Daniel and I had been married for 4 years. We met in college. He was charming, ambitious, the kind of guy who made everyone laugh and feel like they mattered. I fell hard and fast. We built a home together, talked about kids, careers, the future. When the pregnancy test turned positive after months of trying, it felt like the universe had finally given us everything we'd dreamed of. Daniel kissed my belly every night, called our little one Champ, even before we knew if it was a boy or a girl. I believed him when he said he couldn't wait to be a dad. The baby shower was my moment. I'd planned it down to every detail: soft blue and white balloons floating like clouds, a long table of cupcakes frosted in pastel, tiny onesies folded like gifts. Family flew in. My parents from across the state, my brother Mark from Chicago. Friends filled the living room with laughter and hugs. I wore a flowing white dress that made me feel like a glowing goddess instead of the exhausted, swollen version of myself I'd seen in the mirror that morning. Daniel had helped set up earlier, smiling, playing the perfect husband. He even posed for photos, arm around my waist, hand on my bump. I remember standing near the gift table, opening presents, when Daniel walked up with an envelope. Everyone quieted a little, expecting something sweet, a card, maybe ultrasound photos framed, or a poem he'd written. I smiled at him, my heart full. "What's this?" I asked playfully. He didn't smile back. His face was calm, almost detached. "Open it," he said. I tore the flap carefully. Inside were papers. Legal papers. The top sheet read, "Petition for dissolution of marriage." Divorce papers. My hands froze. The room spun. I looked up at him, searching for some sign this was a joke, a prank gone wrong. But his eyes were steady, cold. No warmth. No regret. The silence was deafening. Then gasps. Whispers. Someone dropped a glass. My best friend Olivia rushed forward, but I couldn't move. Daniel spoke, voice low but clear enough for everyone to hear. "I don't love you anymore, Emma. I'm done. This isn't working for me." My throat closed. Tears burned, but I refused to let them fall, not yet, not in front of all these people who'd come to celebrate us. My baby kicked hard, as if sensing the storm. I pressed a hand to my stomach, steadying myself. "Why now?" I managed, voice barely above a whisper. "Why here?" He shrugged like it was nothing. "Better to rip the Band-Aid off. Clean break before the baby comes. You'll be fine financially. I'll handle my responsibilities." Responsibilities. Like I was a bill he had to pay. He turned and walked out. Just like that. The door clicked shut behind him, and the room exploded into chaos. My mom hugged me tight. My dad looked like he wanted to chase Daniel down. Mark stood between me and the door, fists clenched. Olivia guided me to a chair while guests murmured apologies and goodbyes, unsure what to do with the wreckage. I held it together until the last person left. Then I collapsed. Sobs tore out of me, ugly, raw, unstoppable. How could he? How could the man who'd promised forever do this at the one moment I felt most vulnerable, most loved? That night, Olivia stayed. She made tea I couldn't drink, sat with me on the couch while I stared at the papers. Daniel came home late, reeking of perfume that wasn't mine. I confronted him in the kitchen, voice shaking. "Who's Rachel?" He didn't deny it. "My coworker. We've been seeing each other for over a year. I love her, Emma. I want a life with her." A year. While I carried our child, puked every morning, felt our baby move for the first time, he was with someone else. Building something else. I asked the question that haunted me, "Is she pregnant too?" He hesitated, then nodded. "Yes. She's due in a few months." The room tilted. He'd given another woman the family he'd promised me. While I planned nurseries and names, he planned an escape. I didn't scream. I just walked to our bedroom, locked the door, and cried until dawn. The next morning, I started packing his things. Every shirt, every watch, every reminder of the lie. Olivia helped, silent but fierce. When I found the hidden envelope in his desk, hotel receipts, love notes from Rachel, photos of them together, something inside me shifted. The pain didn't disappear, but anger rose beside it. Sharp. Focused. I hired a lawyer the next week. Mr. Harris was calm, experienced. Adultery changes everything, he said. Fault-based state. We have evidence. Custody, alimony, asset division. He won't walk away clean. I kept every scrap. Text side glimpsed on his phone before he changed passwords. Emails printed accidentally. The receipts dated during my high-risk appointments. Mark helped dig deeper. Daniel had been shifting money to a separate account, buying Rachel gifts, planning a move. Proof of dissipation of marital assets. Months passed in a haze. I gave birth alone. Labor started early at 37 weeks. Contractions hit like waves while Daniel ignored my calls. Olivia drove me to the hospital, held my hand through 18 hours of agony. Our son, Liam, arrived screaming, perfect, with Daniel's eyes, but none of his cruelty. I named him Liam, strong, independent. No, Junior. Daniel never showed. Later, I learned he'd been at Rachel's side for her ultrasound that day. The divorce dragged on. Court dates, depositions, mediation that went nowhere. Daniel fought dirty, claimed I was unstable, that the stress was my fault. But the judge saw the evidence. Adultery. Financial misconduct. Abandonment during pregnancy. Full custody went to me. The house stayed mine. It was in my name from before marriage, but he'd tried to claim half. He was ordered to pay child support, alimony for 3 years, and half the marital debts he'd racked up with Rachel. But that wasn't enough for me. Not after the public humiliation. Not after he paraded Rachel around like a trophy while I hid my tears. I rebuilt quietly. Went back to my marketing job part-time from home. Networked. Saved. Invested in online courses. Started a side hustle. A blog about single motherhood, resilience, betrayal recovery. It grew. Sponsors came. Brands reached out. Within a year, it became a full business, podcasts, speaking gigs, a book deal in the works. Daniel? His life unraveled. Rachel left him when the money dried up. Turns out she liked the lifestyle more than the man. He lost his promotion, company policy on affairs with coworkers. Friends distanced themselves. Last I heard, he was couch surfing, begging for visitation he rarely used. The real ending came at a charity gala 2 years later. I was the keynote speaker, sharing my story, anonymized, but powerful. The room was packed. I wore a red dress that hugged my post-baby curves, confidence I'd earned. Then I saw him. Daniel, in the back, thinner, eyes hollow. He hadn't expected me there. Our eyes met. I smiled, small knowing. During Q&A, someone asked, "What's the one thing that surprised you most after betrayal?" I paused, looked straight at him. That the man who thought he broke me actually set me free. He handed me divorce papers at my baby shower, thinking he'd crush me. Instead, he gave me the push to build something unbreakable. Today, I'm a best-selling author, a single mom raising an incredible son, financially secure, surrounded by real love. And him? Well, karma has a way of announcing itself. The room erupted in applause. Daniel slipped out before it ended. I never saw him again. Liam is 3 now. He asks about daddy sometimes. I tell him the truth gently. Some people make bad choices, but we choose better. Every day, I choose us. And every time I look at my boy, I remember the announcement that crushed Daniel wasn't just words. It was my life. Thriving. Shining. Unstoppable.